Hello and welcome to another update about Bitcoin BTC on the daily chart. That's what we're looking at here right now. The situation obviously on the daily chart has not changed in recent weeks, even months. I mean, the price is still holding main support here between 69k and 82k, and has however failed so far to provide clear evidence that a substantial low formed here on the 11th of March. What does it mean? Well, it simply means the move to the upside. First of all, it's not large enough to be really clearly part of a next move to the upside. In addition to that, it is only a three-wave move up so far, and with only three-wave movements to the upside, we don't have evidence that a substantial low formed in this fourth wave that potentially bottomed on the 11th of March, however. So obviously the potential is there that a low formed, but it then needs to hold a higher low, and ideally would also push above this trend line here on the daily chart, which has 3 to 4 touch points now. Let me slightly adjust it. I think it shifted just very, very slightly. But yeah, it's this trend line that ideally will be overcome. And then we can shift the focus to this resistance area, these 4 Fibonacci resistance levels located between 90,925, between 94,680 and 100,296 and 103,831. This is just generally the next resistance area that we can watch, and that will not change until the price forms a new low, because if that's happening, we have to adjust this Fibonacci resistance area to the downside. Yeah. The next move up could just simply lead to a larger three-wave move. We discussed that in the last video very, very extensively. So we're dealing with an ABC structure that could be a larger A wave, then a B wave pullback, and a C wave to the upside. Yeah. So that's what we could track from a bullish point of view if this low holds, because this cannot be an impulse to the upside. Okay. So it could, for example, form a larger ABC structure. The problem is, if we get into that resistance area, we have to be very mindful that this could just be a three-wave move in red wave B. And if we see any 5-wave move down from there, it could mark the beginning of the C wave to the downside. So that makes it all very, very difficult at the moment, because first of all, locally, we have technically no confirmation that a low is in. And in addition to that, when we move higher into that mid 90k region, which I'd still like to see, then the bears could turn up there. They don't have to. But as long as pullbacks remain corrective, we can still keep the door open for higher as well. Yeah. But that's what we're tracking. I don't want to talk too much about the daily chart. There'll be a video on the MCO Global channel today where I cover that all in much, much more detail. Also more from a tutorial and mindset point of view. Looking at the shorter time frame, we had a successful reaction to the micro support region I communicated in the last video. If you watched the last video here, or if you're a gold member and you read our updates in our member area, the intraday updates, then you are very much aware that we were watching the support zone here in the white scenario. Support between 83,501 and 84,267. The idea is that this here could turn into a 5-wave move if the 5th wave gets to 86,576 or higher. Bitcoin might be trying today. Yeah, that would be great, because then we have 5 waves up in circle 1. Once we have a top, then we can add support for wave 2. This is a bit of a murky diagonal pattern, so we'll see. It can easily evolve and change, but again, we've now approached the recent high, so 86,576 would ideally be reached. As a minimum, I'd say we need to get to the area around the golden ratio level, 85,843 to 85,945. For now, this is just a small reaction to Fibonacci support and no 5-wave move up yet. Now, if at any point now the price breaks below 83,500 without having formed 5 waves up first, then this here is possibly just top of the yellow wave 2, which could take us down lower towards 75k or lower, as per the yellow scenario. I haven't marked out the detailed count here on the daily chart, but this would then send us into the lower half, you could say, of the larger orange support box. And this will become clear. A second, just need to... This one. This will become clearer if it's not certainty, but this will be the first confirmation if the market breaks below that trend line and the 83,500 level, because the golden ratio level here in the orange support box is the key support for wave 4. I mean, if the price fails to form that fifth wave up directly, okay, it might test support again and try again. That's why this support is so important. So these are the parameters to watch for today. To the downside, 83,500, at least as long as we only have 3 waves down. And hold support, we can watch the white count. Also, as long as we don't have a 5-wave move up, this support zone will remain relevant. Yeah. Good news is that the pullback into the support zone was in 3 waves, so it was corrective, emphasizing the potential for another high. So those are the parameters we are watching here today. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.